Yeah, it's funny. We were talking with Juan Williams earlier, and he was questioning, well, Kellyanne has 4 kids. How's she going to do it? He got creamed on Twitter. But everybody on Twitter was saying, why? A woman with 4 kids can't do it, and a man can't? So what? That she's going to be working 24/7?
Well, I would just say to everyone, not Juan, because I don't want him to be creamed, but I would say that I don't play golf, and I don't have a mistress. So I have a lot of time that a lot of these other men don't. I see people on the weekend, they spend an awful lot of time you know, with their golf games, and that's their right, but the kids they'll be with me. We live in the same house, and they come first.
Did she really said what I think she said? Well, yes, she did. And a lot of people are applauding those words. Others are saying, ooh, could there have been a better way to frame that? Let's get the read right now from Democratic strategist Jessica Tarlov, DivaMoms.com's Lee Stern, and Patrice Leonwuka of the Independent Women's Forum. Patrice, to you, what did you think of how she reacted to that?
Man, oh man, I would not want to have been at the receiving end of that. But you know what? I'm tired of hearing women, the first question that gets asked of the woman, whether she can manage, you know, the work-life balance, rather than whether she's qualified or what she plans to do when she gets into a new role. I mean, female CEOs face this all the time, and it's sad that Kellyanne, who should be a hero for being the first female to win a presidential election, you know, is facing this.
Jessica, what do you think?
Oh, I thought she was hilarious. I've always loved that kind of sense of humor that Kellyanne has. I did my due diligence, though, and I called my liberal buddy Juan up to ask what happened. And he said, actually, that Kellyanne had mentioned earlier on that she did have 4 kids, and you have to think about that when you are taking a job of that size. And her husband has a huge job, too. But I agree with Patrice. I mean, men and women both should be thinking about child care, the responsibilities of having a family. I'm excited that she's going to take on this role and have her kids with her. And she's super funny, especially early in the morning, which is great.
You know, at least when you hear this sort of stuff, and again, it is asked disproportionately of women over men who also have children, who also then rely, presumably the argument being on the woman to take care of the children. But she put it right out there by adding the mistress thing. What do you think of that?
Here's what I think. I think that she is doing a great job. She's going to do a great job. And this has nothing to do with her. She was funny about it. She said it the way it was. I mean, again, everybody has a different point of view. But her children are going to come first. Her job's going to come with having her 4 children. And she's going to do her best job. There should be nothing, we shouldn't be questioning of her how she's going to do her job because she has 4 children. The women and the moms that I know that all have jobs, that are all CEOs, are also great parents. And everybody's doing it. Everybody's juggling a million balls at once. And we should stop judging and shaming her for being a mom of 4 and having a high-powered job.
I think it is. I mean, there's a broader issue here, which is about the policies and the way that the U.S. economy works that may make it Kellyanne able to pull this off, while other people who maybe have less means have a harder time. You know, in terms of child care, you know, we know that 2/3 of people who are on the minimum wage are women. Donald Trump doesn't want to raise the minimum wage. There's a broader policy discussion here beyond that.
But would that apply? And producer, you can have a look at this. If Hillary Clinton had won, and obviously would have a female president, and she would maybe be looking disproportionately to having women in her cabinet, the same issues would be raised, or would they? What do you think, Patrice?
Yeah, it would be the same across the board. I mean, every woman, whether you're a CEO or you're, you know, making minimum wage, you are still struggling to figure out how you're going to put food on the table, but also find fulfillment in work. And you know what? It takes. I mean, the phrase was it takes a village. But truly, women of all ages and socioeconomic conditions, you know, they rely on lots of different sources of support. So I mean, I'm not going to broaden it out to the broader policy discussion. Here.
Isn't that what's at play here? I mean, Kellyanne Conway has a lot of money. Her husband makes a lot of money, too. Let's talk about the average woman in America who can't pay for child care, who is on a minimum wage.
That wasn't what was asked here. The issue of how much money she had or a guy would have never came up. It was just the assumption she's a woman.
You know what? And she's a woman, and she's going to do a great job, and she's going to be a great mom, period.
But at the end of the day, whether you are making a lot of money or you're not making a lot of money, you know, what we need is more opportunity for women so that they can afford.
So it sounds like Jessica's just being a chauvinist, I guess, right?
I'm the worst, the most sexist person in this building.
Yeah, I thought so. I assumed as much.
Again, you know what? people all the time say, well, we hear it all the time. How could you be a CEO? How can you run a business? And how can you have children? How can you know what? How could you, I'm not going to say how could you not, but why would you ask that question? Why would you judge a woman and not judge a man? And nobody should be judged, period. We're doing the best that we all can do, and we're all juggling a lot of balls at once, and we're all making it happen. Everybody needs to stop shamming women and working moms.
Yeah, but
I knew this was a dangerous segment to do, so I'm done.
It's a lot of estrogen up here you've got, Neil.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, guys, thank you all very, very much.
Thank you.